going to be the first one to tell you this is one of those things that just didn't go the way I planned it. And this is my Kubota. Now, is it clean? No, this is a farm machine. And you'll notice that I have a water bottle on it. I'm going to tell you about the water bottle here in just a moment because it's not got water in it only. It actually has more than just water in it. It has soap in it as well. Reason that I have soap in this bottle of water is so I can find leaks in my tires in case I've punctured one. Well, this particular tire right here, and this is a large Kubota. This is the diesel. This is the biggest one. This is the 1211. And I'll tell you, it's a good machine. This is a beast. It has a 6-foot wide cut. I have a lot of grass to cut here on the Welch family homestead. I could not do it without good machinery. I have a couple of John Deeres, and I have the Kubota. And if you see here, I have a lot of grass to cut, and I keep this cut like a lawn. Right now it needs cutting, and it's been raining for about a week, so the grass is higher than it needs to be. But I have about 11 acres of grass, and I can't afford to not keep it cut, because if it ever gets out of hand, then I have so much grass that's being cut down, then it lays dead. Now, why don't I turn it into hay? I just want to get the grass established good here, because we're really close to finalizing the fence work so that we can actually bring the livestock in and do something special with the pastures. So we got 56 acres here, but only 11 acres of grass. And the 11 acres of grass that I do have, I want to make the best of it. So we want good, healthy, organic growth. We don't have any chemicals anywhere on this grass, so that makes a lot of difference there as well. So I want to show you what the problem here is with this tire. When I came home yesterday, I was going to jump on the Kubota, and I was going to do some grass cutting, and I can cut about, I don't know, 3-4 acres in an evening pretty easy. Not too bad. Our land here is not flat, so it's not like I'm just cutting a football field. I have hills, slopes. Some of the slopes are steep, so I can't go sideways on some of them. I have to go up and down. And when you have a machine like this, some people don't realize it, but you have to go nose up instead of nose down many times to get up a hill or down a hill. You think, well, the weight's back here, it's going to flip backwards with you. And that's not necessarily as much the case as when you're going down the hill nose forward. A lot of times it will start sliding down the hill, and it'll get away from you if you have a steep area. And I'm up here in the Smoky Mountains, and I have some steep areas, and I just can't cut it with this. Sometimes I have to put the John Deere tractor onto the cutting of certain areas because it can handle a steeper area than even this. But even at that, you need to know what you're doing, and safety comes first always. So anyway, how do you fix a flat tire on the Kubota? Now I have a dilemma here, because let me show you where this flat tire is. Hold on one second as I resituate my camera. Anytime you're trying to find a leak in a tire, always put dishwashing liquid in the water in a bottle, put a little hole in the top of it, and then I'll pour it on it. Anywhere I try to look for a leak, and I looked all around it, couldn't find it. But guess where it shows up at? It shows up in the sidewall right here, if you can see where it's bubbling up. It's right there next to the valve stem. It was completely flat, but I blew it back up, because if it's not blown up with a little bit of air pressure, you can't do a test like this. So I was very pleased to find the hole, but the negative of it is it's in my sidewall. So how do we fix this? Normally what you do is you fix a tube. This is a tubeless tire, by the way. It doesn't have a tube in it. If this was a street tire, if this was on your car or your truck, your work truck, this would not be fixable. This would be something you'd have to just buy a new tire. But because this is just a small hole in the side, I'm going to attempt to fix it with a tubeless patch. And let's see how good I am at this, or if it's going to work. Since it's not a street tire, I'm not worried about it blowing out going down the highway, and I'm hoping that I can actually fix the problem, even though it's a sidewall, because sidewalls here fairly thick, not as thick as the top, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be lucky. Hopefully we will anyway. So let's take a look at this typical repair kit. I'm not here to, plug any a particular brand. These can be bought at most hardware stores, even your local Walmart, Home Depot, auto parts stores. I actually picked this up at Ace Hardware today. So you have several things that come with it. This is what we call the threads. These are have a rubber glue on them, and we're going to use one of these to plug the hole, and hopefully we'll be very, very fortunate to make it work. And one of the first things that you do when you're repairing a tubeless tire, you use this tool to ream out the hole. This makes the hole rough on the inside, and it also helps make these rubber glue sticks or threads stay where they need to be and bond to the tire. This is the tool that we're going to use, and it has a hole in it to thread the rubber glue thread through, and it has a slot. I don't know if you can see the slot. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. You can see the slot in the end of it right here, and when we thread it through and pull it out, the glue stick, the rubber glue stick, should stay in the hole. First thing we need to do is we need to ream the hole out. So basically the hole, as you can see, is right there. Okay, so my attempt right now is to go into that hole, and it's not easy because this is a thick part of the rubber. Sometimes you have to be fairly tough with it. I'm hoping that when this is done, that it works and I don't have to buy a new tire. Okay, so we seem to be in there good. Yeah. You want to get that hole good and reamed out. Or you won't have enough of a hole to put the patch in. So don't be afraid of it. Okay. There we go. So we reamed that out good. You can hear it working now to release the air. Now we're going to take one of these out. That was hard work. I'm going to flatten one end of it here to get it through the thread. We're going to put it through this needle. Just like this. I'm going to go halfway. Okay? Now when this goes into the tire, for those that don't know how to do this, it's going to be pushed into the hole, and this is going to fold back. I'm going to twist it, and then I'm going to pull it out, and it's going to leave this in there. You don't want to push this all the way into the tire. You want to push it about halfway. Sorry, my hands are dirty here in the farmyard. To about right here. About halfway. You want to leave about this much of it sticking out. Now, because we're doing it halfway, and we know that, we want to take the plug bond right here. This is plug bond. It's like a super glue. And we're going to put it on the area where it's going to be in contact with the hole. I'm not trying to be clean here. I'm on my knees and in the grass and the mud right now, trying to fix this. It don't take much of that. That's how much we're going to put on that. Okay, now going back to our hole. We can see it very clearly here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove it into the hole. It's not easy sometimes. There we go. Now look, I've got a little bit hanging out here. That's as much as I want hanging out. I don't want it all to go inside. I didn't say it was always easy. Now, I'm going to pull like a jerking motion to pull it out. And it'll leave this, but it won't be attached to the handle now. There we go. You see, this is still there. Now I can't test it because the air's out of the tire. So let's put some air in the tire. I had to move the mower just a little bit before I could get it close enough to where my air hose would reach. I got a big compressor, but this is as far as it will go. Now, one thing you always want to do is look on your tire, and you'll see how many pounds per square inch it says to put in it. It says right here, if cold, 20 pounds per square inch. Okay, 20 psi. This is not a hot tire. It's not a cold tire either. So I'm going to put about 22 pounds in it is what I normally would put. But right now we have enough pressure to test to see if this leak is still there. And look here, we have no bubbles. The leak is gone. The leak is no longer making bubbles. So this worked fairly well. I'll keep a watch on it. Now we can cut this off flush or just leave it there so we can keep a watch on it. I personally am going to cut it off flush. I'm going to wait for the glue to dry so it don't mess up my knife. I'm going to cut it off flush, and for one reason, since this is right here in this location, I don't want it to go around a tree and get snagged and pull on it at all. And it's not in the tread area. This is a very, very difficult patch to do where it's at. Let me get you a little closer to it. You can see they're sticking out perfectly. They're the right amount. I was very liberal with the glue. This equipment is not clean. It should be cleaner than it is, but in all honesty, this is a farm, and we use this piece of machinery almost daily. And when I'm fixing something like this, I want to do an educational video for you here on the Homestead. One of the things that you're going to face on a continuous basis Let me get up. Whew. One of the things you're going to face on a continuous basis is flat tires. And that same process is used whether you're in the tread or wherever else. Now, I've fixed large tractor tires. I fix things myself. If you were to pay for everything to be done on your farm, on your homestead, you'd go broke. You have to learn how to do certain things yourself. Am I out of breath? Yes. It's warm today. I've been walking back and forth from the lake up to the top of the hill all day. I'm dirty, as you can tell. Again, this is a farm. Now, one of the things I want to encourage you to do is to keep us in prayer. Me and my beautiful animals, keep us in prayer. And the reason for that is because I always cherish your prayers. But I haven't uploaded a lot of videos this year. In late February, I almost died. And I'll tell you about that on another video. But it's just a pleasure to be back here with you to do this video. I'll do another video talking about what happened in late February and give you some details on that, and maybe it'll help you as well. Right now, I'm going to get cleaned up. But before I get cleaned up, I'm going to get this mower out here and cut a little grass while it's not raining before it gets dark. That's all part of the farm life, folks. That's the way it works. On the farm life, you have to get it while the getting's good. God bless you, and welcome to Welch Family Homestead. I hope you subscribe, and I hope you share our videos with others that need to learn everything they possibly can, even if it's something as simple as patching a tubeless tire on your lawnmower. God bless you.